We're back. It's a Tuesday. Well, it should have been a Tuesday night, but it's Wednesday. We have football tomorrow night. And welcome to fourth grade, by the way. I realized I didn't change the note back there. So
shows you how much I was paying attention. I was okay with it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we got one more sleep until football. And actually, by the time people listen to this, unless your name's Peter, you'll actually, I don't know, he might be waking up to watch football. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to sleep.
You know,
if this is like Christmas, I may not sleep all night.
I will, because I'm exhausted, because it's been a long week.
Well,
but yeah.
You do go to bed before the sun sets.
Well, I try to.
Yeah, you do.
I try to. But it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. 9 o'clock sharp. We actually started at 9 o'clock. How about that?
Hey.
That's a record.
It is.
But anyway, we are going to talk about the many news and notes from over the weekend. Darrell's got a draft that he forgot about. That I had a draft earlier for a buddy of mine. It was an offense-only draft, so it wasn't too challenging. But it was challenging because Yahoo doesn't let co-owners draft. Did you know that?
Really?
Because he couldn't make the draft, so he added me as a co-owner, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll be able to draft, and no problem.
Right.
And I go to make a pick, and it says co-owners can't draft, and I'm like, what the?
See?
So Yahoo needs to get their crap together, which is just another reason why you should take your league to myfantasyleague.com, because you know what? Madman and I co-own a team.
Yep. And
you know what I can do, even though I'm the co-owner?
Me and you co-own a team on there.
That's true. And you know what we can do? We can draft if we're a co-owner, because we own the team too. Now, I don't own that team too, and I was just doing him a favor by drafting for him because he had a hockey game. But my point is, what's the point of having a co-owner if they can't do anything?
Right.
Like he needed a co-owner to
it's kind of like having a co-host that can't do anything. I feel their pain.
Well, exactly, because you sure as hell don't set anything up. You do a hell of a good Blue Chew read, though. I'll tell you.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
So yeah, we'll have a Blue Chew read a little bit later on.
I can't wait. That's like my go-to right there.
That's what she said. But anyway, we digress. So yeah, we got some news this week. Number one, we're 24 hours away from real football.
Oh, I can't wait.
Less than that by the time you're listening to this, and it's going to be great. The only thing I'm going to miss, and it may just be me watching the crowd react to like the banner being raised. Even if it's the stinking Patriots that win, part of that first opening night feel is that crowd being energized because they get to lift the banner up.
Wow.
I don't think there's going to be any fans in Kansas City, so it's going to be a little strange. They are allowed to pipe in noise, though, aren't they? Isn't that?
I think so. I believe I did read that they are allowed to pop in noise. It was something to do. Well, they was
doing that piping in noise.
Yeah, I forget who it was. Somebody brought it up that it was unfair for home teams that had certain capacity, allowing certain fans in. How's it fair for them? And then we're not allowing fans, but they have the home field advantage with noise, and that's where the popping in noise come from.
Do players really care about the noise?
I don't think they do. I really don't. And if it's anything like the NBA's been, I prefer to not hear the crowd noise. It's better to hear the own court or own field stuff.
I'd rather hear the players barking back and forth.
Yeah, me too.
You could get some choice words picked up on microphones and stuff, but I'd rather hear that. words that you don't want your like 5-year-old hearing, if they're watching football.
Oh, you mean words that I would say for 300?
Words that you would say that I try to encourage you not to say, so I don't have to edit anything. Not that I can anyway, but I've given up on trying to edit because we do the video podcast too. We do the YouTube now, so I have no clue how to video edit. So that's completely out of my element. I've had to record all my lessons and put them on the classroom thing we're using.
Oh.
So I've literally been sitting in front of this camera for 5-6 hours today, including this show. So it's going to be – I'm going to get tired of standing here. I need like a makeup person every day to come by and,
You need 2 makeup people because woof. Just saying.
Tone down the turtle wax over there, Billy boy.
Man, that's not even fair.
You're not
I
wearing
have a condition, man.
Skin cap here.
I have a condition.
Yeah, it's called baldness. It's called male pattern baldness.
Fine. How's that?
That's her condition.
Steve, you shouldn't.
I'm just a little behind you here, though, so I know I can't talk.
That hurts my feelings. I just don't know that I can go on with this type of tomfoolery.
Anyways, so let's hit some news. Obviously, the first piece of news is your boy is not playing for 3 weeks.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter.
What the heck is all that about?
I have no idea. Nobody even knows. Nobody even knows what this injury is. The last I heard, it was a tweak of some kind, and that's been it.
Tweaked it good enough for 3 weeks at least, because that's the minimum he has to spend on the IR, which leaves a lot of people scrambling for a week 1, including me, because I have him in a couple leagues. And I'm going to have to make other arrangements for a couple weeks. I mean, I think I drafted Chase Winovich, so I think I have J.J. Watt and Chase Winovich going for me.
Right.
Which, it's not optimal. Obviously, I'd rather have Danielle Hunter, but, such is life. What other news do you have for us? I know there's a lot of extensions signed.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm just
Mainly
going
on the offensive side of the ball, but there was a couple good defensive.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of go in order here real quick. 49ers linebacker Fred Warner was activated from the COVID list, so that's good news. He'll be ready week 1 to thump some heads.
Yeah, that was good news for me because I needed him in a different league, so I actually have to go in and activate him, I think, because I don't think I have him activated as of right now. So.
Right. Then we have, this was, you hate to hear these. Broncos outside linebacker Von Miller is probably going on IR. It was thought to be a ending injury. He tore his, I don't know how you say this, peroneal tendon, which they first thought it was his ACL. He kind of avoided that. The rough thing is he did it on the last play of practice. He just stepped wrong or something. And
I was going to say, did you hear that it was the very last snap of practice? Like, is that just a kick in the nuts? Like,
it is.
Seriously.
You're just now getting Bradley Chubb back. And
you're just trying to go home and last snap, and you like that.
But for us Titans fans, we're not hating that.
It goes to show you what a competitor he is, that last snap of practice, and he's given it enough that it actually hurt him. It's a shame. Hopefully it isn't a season ender. I know I thought earlier I listened to a podcast say it was a season ender, but if he can avoid season ending, then we could get him back maybe –
they're thinking the second half of the season's the last thing that I heard before we jumped on air. So maybe things will go right and they can get him. They'll still be a contender. Maybe it'll help them down the stretch, but I wouldn't bet on it. But
I wouldn't bet on them being a contender.
No,
because you have Kansas City's probably going to run away with that division, I would think.
Yeah, they're fighting for a wild card at best.
And that's kind of, I think, what everybody expected coming in. So I don't think that's a huge surprise.
No.
Sorry, I'm tinkering with some lineups.
No, you're fine. So
as I'm going through here, because I got some guys that I can. I got to bring up Brian Edwards on my team. I have Brian Edwards on my taxi squad on one of my teams, and I'm like, this dude's going to start week 1.
I heard him and Judy was starting, or not Judy.
Him and Ruggs are both.
Yes,
I mean,
Ruggs,
if you're the Raiders, I mean, Tyrell Williams is on IR. Who else did they even have last year? I can't remember. Zay Jones and
they had Williams IR. They had Hunter Renfro. I hear he's going to be in the slot.
Well, yeah, Renfro's a slot guy.
Who did they have? Oh my goodness!
Who was another receiver last year?
They had Keelan Doss for a little bit. They had
next. Nelson Aguilar was their big free agent signing.
Yeah, they had Brown for just a minute. Didn't even play for them. We're missing somebody. I just don't remember who it is.
Let me bring it up here.
I can't remember.
It's a week. It's a week long. I mean, Brian Edwards, I've drafted him everywhere. In fact, I drafted him for my buddy in his draft, and he's probably like, what the hell is this guy doing? And he'll thank me later.
Oh, yeah, he's going to thank you later, yeah.
I think he's going to – he could be a dark horse for Rookie of the Year.
I would put that past it. I would agree with that.
So, yeah, they have a real – I mean, they have Zay Jones and Nelson Aguilar. Those are their backups. So, yeah, Waller the baller is going to ball out just because.
Right.
And Brian Edwards and Ruggs. I mean, I did not have a lot of faith in Ruggs, so I'm not really expecting big things. But yeah, they're why did they trade Lynn Bowden? Why don't they just move him out?
I have no idea why they did that.
That was one of the dumbest things I've seen, because they somehow ended up, I don't know, the Dolphins, one of the teams ended up getting just like traded. I guess somebody put it as Lynn Bowden was a 3rd-round pick, and they gave up like a 4th and a 6th for him, basically, because they gave up they gave up McMillan last week, so they kind of it just that did not make any sense to me. I know we're a defensive show, but that
I didn't get that either. I was kind of shocked. I mean, they basically traded McMillan for Bowden, more or less.
I mean, some minor third-day picks in there. I mean, but yeah, why draft him in the 3rd round just to turn around and get rid of him? I don't have a clue. That just sounds stupid to me.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. So,
rumor was he just wasn't fitting in with what Gruden wanted to do. But if you're John Gruden, like Mike Mayock, I mean, I guess Mayock if he was going to cut him, if Gruden wanted to cut him, I guess Mayock got what he could for him. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's
it took him as a wild card, as a wildcat, as a game changer of sorts. So it was kind of risky to begin with, but I mean, no risk it, no biscuit. You disappeared. Oh man, some things never change. Now he's completely disappeared. You're okay over there. You're a spinning wheel right now. So I'll fill in some gaps here. Dion Buchanan was cut by the Atlanta Falcons. Not a huge surprise. I don't even know why they signed him in the first place, to be perfectly honest, because I don't know. That didn't make any sense to me because, I mean, Michael Walker and Olakun are both probably better than him at this point. Going through some other things here, you have Terrell Lewis was sent to the non-football injury list. He was thought to be maybe gone for the season, so that's actually not a bad thing here. He was on the COVID list and now needs an operation on his knee. He tore his ACL in 2018 and will miss the first 6 games at least. I don't think they were really counting on him. We talked about Hunter. Just trying to kill time till Darrell gets back here. Warner was activated. Aqib Talib officially announced his retirement. I guess if nobody wants you, that's kind of where you're at. Ryan Shazier also officially retired from football yesterday. That one was not a huge surprise, as Shazier had that bad spinal injury, and miraculously he's able to walk again.
Yes.
But just not going to try to play football. I mean, the Steelers, I think, kind of held out hope, and he was determined, I think, to come back. But I don't think any doctor would have cleared him to take the football field again.
But that shows you how classy that organization is, too, to stick by him and stand by him, even when it looked like he probably couldn't or shouldn't come back. They stayed with him. That's a Class A organization when you can do that, because a lot of organizations would probably cut you. I mean, let's be real. They'd probably say, whatever. So
he should have been a 10-year perennial All-Pro Hall of Fame type linebacker.
I think I read somewhere he had 2 Pro Bowls or something in his first 4 seasons, so he was going to be dominant.
He was. I talked about Aqib Talib as well.
Oh, yeah, so good. I mean, glad you kind of mentioned that.
Dion Buchanan getting cut. So
do you think Talib's a Hall of Famer?
I don't think so.
13 seasons, 148 games, 134 starts, 462 tackles, 385 solos, 35 interceptions. Here was the interesting number that stood out to me: 752 return yards, which is over 20 yards a return every time he intercepted it. 10 touchdowns, 125 pass breakups, 5-time Pro Bowler, 1 All-Pro, 1 Super Bowl. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer either. I think he's kind of a fringe guy, probably in that second-tier Hall of Fame, if you will. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he's on the outside looking in, I think. Because I think he had a few dominant years where it were probably really, really good.
He had a few dominant years, but I don't think he's the best corner of his generation.
No, I don't either.
That's what you kind of have to be at corner in order to get there. Here's an interesting one. Do you think Richard Sherman's a Hall of Fame caliber player? He's a Hall of Fame trash talker.
Without looking at the numbers.
I mean, without looking at the numbers, just the eye test. I mean, he has a Super Bowl.
I think he is without looking at the numbers.
He was the best at his position for about a 4-year stretch.
And he played well last year for San Francisco. I mean, he really did.
I mean, you could tell fast receivers can blow right by him, but I mean, he's come back from an Achilles injury, which used to be a death sentence for anybody, especially somebody in a quick position corner. So going off of what else we've got going on, Jalen Ramsey signs a huge
monster deal
extension.
5 years, $105 million. Highest paid corner in the league.
I don't think he's worth it, to be honest.
No. Well, I was watching Total Access, and they were asking some of them, and Willie McGinnis said, no, he's not the best. He's one of, but he's not the best. So,
see, I think Stephon Gilmore right now is the best.
That's who he said. He said, that's who he picked was the best corner. So,
and you say I hate the Patriots. Here I am giving them props.
I think there's Gilmore's ahead of him. Tre'Davious White's ahead of him.
Tre'Davious White. I picked those two as my all-pro corners this year.
Yeah, those two are definitely ahead of him.
I think Patrick Peterson is a little bit on the decline. He was in that top tier of corner before.
Yeah.
I would put Lattimore in that conversation.
Okay.
Here we are talking about goddamn corners.
Hey, you love them. See?
What the hell has this show come to?
Everybody just realizes you're a farce. You're a liar. This whole time I hate corners. In the last few weeks, that's all you want to talk about.
Well, I am talking about good NFL corners. That has nothing. They're actually most of Gilmore and White are okay in fantasy, but most of them are trash. And like Marshawn Lattimore, I don't like to have an IDP because he's too good.
I love Byron Murphy. He's just a little young. Want to see him do it a few more years.
He's not a top NFL corner.
That's why I said I want to see him do it a few more years. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth.
He's not even going to be that. He's a good IDP corner.
He'll be a good corner.
Good, yes. But we're talking about elite of the elite here.
Oh my God! I can't.
All right, let's move on. Too many damn corners to talk about. Corey Littleton. Corey Littleton just signed in the offseason. He's always restructuring something. So
there's a reason for that.
Is he helping the team out, or is he just not really what they thought he was?
Both. I mean,
it did clear $8 million in cap space, so it's a good cap move. But
I gotta think they said either take this salary reduction or restructure, or we're gonna ship you off somewhere or cut you. I would imagine. Maybe in not so many nice words, but you got to think that was kind of the story.
Maybe he is what I thought he was.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
All right, let's move through these because we got a lot of games to go over, and I know that everybody's chomping at the bit to hear your Blue Chew ad. So.
Yeah, and I can't remember if we mentioned it. Titans signed your boy, Jadavion. $15 million.
It was reported, and then he came out and said, nope. And then finally got done a few hours later.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how that is because, I mean, people are so quick to people are so quick just to, I don't even know what I was saying. Sorry. What was I talking about?
That was great.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. You confused me on that one. I was like, go ahead. I was waiting for you to finish, and you was just like, Who's
the one drinking over here?
Oh, that was great.
Sorry, folks. Lost my train of thought. It's like squirrel moment,
Yeah, it was a squirrel.
Flash guy on my phone, and I completely lost track.
Oh, ring.
Who were we talking about?
Jadeveon Clowney.
Clowney, yeah.
Yes.
I guess I'm talking about like players. These, I get what I'm saying now. Like those guys, they want to be so quick to something. I think it's becoming a race between the two. They have some professional, competitiveness. They want to be the first to break the story. But it seems like Tom Pelissero seems to be the quickest these days with this kind of stuff.
Right.
So you wonder if sometimes they make one less phone call to confirm or one less text to confirm and just throw it out there. And, then they go back and make sure. They're trying to be – I mean, I get that.
Right.
Try because that's your job is to be first. Like, sleeper sometimes will miss the mark because they're trying to be first with information.
Yeah, everybody tries to be first. They try to win the battle. I broke it first, so.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're an investigative reporter, if you're an insider, that's your job. So
yeah, I mean, even us. I mean, we try to be the first to report news or whatever. Yeah, I mean, we all do it. It's just I think some of them get a little carried away at times and jump the gun or stuff like that sometimes. But
yeah, how about Bradley Chubb being on a pitch count?
Yeah, is he really going to be on one now with Von Miller gone though?
I think it's smart to. Yeah, but do you want to rush him back? Do you want?
You don't want to, but you don't want to, but do you have a choice?
Don't want to.
I mean, when you got Von Miller on the other side, happy and healthy, no, you don't want to rush him back. You shouldn't have to. He goes down. What else do you have? You got Jarrell Casey, Shelby. I forget his name. they're not in. So I mean, you
They're
don't
not
really have
edge
any.
players there, Darrell.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. You're speaking that gibberish. I don't understand that stuff. Hello? You froze. Hello. Hello. You're froze, dude.
Let me take a look at Denver.
You froze up big time.
Kind
froze
of,
again.
sort of. Yeah, I probably am. I'm probably just.
Yeah, you are. You're.
Well, we can.
You and your shitty internet. So you blame me and my shitty internet.
Well,
It's been you this whole time.
I don't think it's my internet. I think it's the fact that I have 50,000 tabs open on my computer that I'm trying.
That might do it. That might do it.
Yeah, well, I had a bunch of stuff open earlier from teaching, and I never closed out of it because I wanted tomorrow.
What the hell?
So it's still here. I'm trying to close out of stuff here. I'll close out of some stuff, and then we should be able to get going there. So anyway, what were we talking about?
I think we're finishing up Clowney, and you started cutting out.
Yeah. Uh-oh. My Google is not responding. Well, carry on. It's the web, so it'll record. So go ahead. Keep going about Clowney or whatever.
So, yeah, good job for the Titans getting Clowney, 1 year, $15 million. Such a relief to get him signed so we don't have to fool with the Vic Beasley nonsense. He can be exactly what he is, a backup. And
is he active right now? Is he on some list?
He is active the last I saw. Who knows? It's been shit show since the day they signed him, as I've mentioned many times. But getting Clowney gives him and Landry, they're going to be the bookend pass rushers, with Beasley being that backup. I like that. I mean, that's a more sensible and reliable group there. And then speaking of Clowney, MFL positions, Clowney is going to stay at a defensive end, which is huge. And Kayvon Chason is switching from linebacker to defensive end, which helps his value. I don't think it helps him, but it helps his value a little bit. So I'm still out on him as a fantasy option. I just don't see him.
Secondary here.
Oh, my Lord.
Let's hit that again. Those of you on YouTube, sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. If you're on the podcast, we were kind of cut out. My internet not my internet. My internet was fine. I had too many tabs open on my computer, so my computer was like, "Yeah, we're done here." It needed to shut down my Google Chrome completely. So we were talking about some position changes. You said Clowney is staying at.
Clowney is staying at defensive end,
which got some feathers ruffled because they're saying, Beasley got moved, but Clowney's not going to.
Who cares about Beasley? Move him completely off your roster is all I care. But yeah, I mean, that's good for Clowney for fantasy managers. That is great that Clowney's a defensive end. That helps his value a lot more. You like him a lot more as a defensive end than you do an outside linebacker. And then the other one was Kayvon Chason got switched from linebacker to defensive end, which helps his fantasy value. I don't know that's going to help him. I'm just not sold on him being a pass rusher in NFL, but it does help his fantasy value.
We know your hate for him, so it's okay.
Well, hate, I just tell it like I see it.
You're a hater. You talk about me being a hater all the time. You're a hater.
Okay. Ooh, you got me.
Gotcha. That it?
And that's about it for the news. Well, I mean, one last piece. Cowboys signed. Interesting, they gave Randy Gregory an extension.
Yes.
Through 2021. I thought that was kind of weird, but
they must have saved money by doing that or something, because
they had to have. I don't know what the reason. We needed our boy Waltner for this, but
why on earth would you give him any money?
Well, he's still young. I don't know his exact age. He's in his 20s still, so I mean, he's still young. But
being young doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he's learned his lessons.
He's super talented.
Changed. I don't know. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't
buy it. Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, he's super talented, but he's not like some of the others, I guess, with the assault and stuff like that. It's just a marijuana. I know it's a slippery slope. That's why I said it's.
No, that's what we've heard. Is it anything else? Is it harder? More illegal drugs? I mean,
we'll find out.
I know marijuana is pretty much legal I'd say at least half the states, at least medically.
If he gets busted for something else and suspended, then you'll know.
Yeah, I guess it's a wait and see on that. But yeah, how many times can he bite the team before you just turn your back and say, okay, man. But hey, I mean, if he can do something for the team, then
I think he can help him if he can keep his ass on the field, which, as we've seen, has been a big problem for him through his career. So, I mean, I was high as anybody on him coming out of Nebraska. He was a fierce pass rusher. I was, man. He has the tools.
You were high on him. I see what you did there.
Darn, I tried to slide that one by you.
Oh, man. But yeah. Well, we are going to get into what we're going to be doing here this season. And most people wanted us to look forward. We will kind of glance backwards, maybe at something shocking, if there's an injury that was huge that shakes up something. Darrell tried his damnedest to take my writing, my article away from me this week.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So
I have no idea what you are insinuating here.
it's just hilarious because we were talking in some chats and I said, oh, I'll grab offense or I'll grab the rookie report for defense or whatever because everybody's splitting up the work at IDP guys for the in-season stuff. We got more content than days right now, so we're gonna have to up as it is. And so I claimed the rookies, and I put it on the calendar like we're supposed to, like good little employees. And this dude's out here on Twitter saying, "Hey, I was thinking about writing about rookies for IDP. What do you guys want to do?"
I completely forgot you were even doing it. It never even dawned on me that you were doing it.
I was like, "What?" Can you read these chats? Like, there's a reason we have a chat.
I do, but I don't know. It just hit me, and I forgot all about it.
You got a lot going on, but I just thought it was hilarious that
well, see what it is. I'm so used to carrying you, I have to do it all. I'm not used to you actually participating.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm actually going to be writing about the offense rookies too. I'm going to keep tabs on the offense.
Look at you.
I am a multifaceted person. I am not going to be pigeonholed into being something. I am more than just an IDP person.
Right.
I am a fantasy football.
I get that.
I'm in tons of offensive only leagues too. I'm in tons of leagues to begin with, so it's. I'm keeping track of this stuff anyway, so it's not really any extra.
Yeah,
it is extra work, but it's not anything that I wouldn't want to be doing anyway.
I have a few offensive only leagues. Well, we've discussed this many times. It's just something that's, for me personally, it's just not as fun now that I'm into defense, the campus to Canton leagues. For some people, that's all they want, and that's fine. That's great. I'm not knocking you, not bashing you at all. Just for me, I have 2, maybe 3 of those that I've been doing for a while. One I took over, I think, for our buddy Madman. They needed owner, so I jumped in. But, yeah, I have a couple. So,
well, my issue was, and this isn't really an issue, one summer I joined a ton of leagues. And a great commissioner, which thank your commissioners, they're great. Marty, if you guys are into dynasty leagues and stuff, you probably know Marty. He has tons and tons of themed leagues. I'm in a couple HBO leagues, a couple Marvel leagues.
Love the Marvel leagues.
Like he loves the themed leagues, and he has set up hundreds at this point. I'm probably going to say because he has tons of leagues. Great commissioner, always on top of his stuff. And I joined like 6 of his leagues one off season because they were all little tiny different. And as owners drop out and he startups up, you get to know people and you're in a lot of the same leagues together. So I joined a bunch of them. One of them's Devi. One of them started out, and here's a funny story. It started out as an ADP league.
Okay.
Which basically meant, it was late August, so we didn't have time for a slow draft. So we just let the computer literally draft our team ADP style. And then from there, we got to the draft the next season, and we're like, we kind of want to draft our rookies.
Right.
He's like, well, the whole point of this league was be an ADP thing where you just draft it based off ADP. So
right.
we kind of revolted and got that overturned because we're like, yeah, we kind of want to draft.
See, and here's one that I joined. We have done, me, you, all of us have done some very similar in the eliminators. But I have joined an all IDP only dynasty. and we are drafting now. We're almost done. No offense whatsoever. It's all defense.
One of those.
Do what?
So we used to be in one of those. Then it fell
We
apart.
did.
It just, I think it disbanded. I don't know, because it was one of the most dead leagues I was in. I think there was one trade, maybe two, the entire time I was in it for 2 years, I think. And
I don't recollect that. I plead the fifth.
It's just one of those leagues where, it's a bunch of good guys. It's just we're all busy and we all have tons of leagues. So it was kind of last on the totem pole. Because
actually, there's been a lot of good owners in this league so far. Everybody's been chatting. We'll see how the season starts and gets going. But right now, everybody's active, chatting, drafting, cussing, kicking, throwing stuff. So
during the draft, everybody talks. It's the after the draft thing that you kind of are like, once in the months of March, are the people still talking? Is a true test of a league's I guess activeness. Because if your league is still talking to each other in February, then you got a good crew that likes each other.
Right.
I'm guilty of not being too talkative in the chat, just simply because I am in too damn many leagues.
Right.
I would need to have a job of just talking to league mates.
Yeah.
Like when somebody talks to me about a trade, I don't have 5 days to discuss a trade with you. It's either getting done in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or it's
same here.
Happening.
It's one of those crap or get off the pot deals. Let's be.
Yeah, pretty much. And somebody sent me a trade offer this week, and it wasn't egregious. It just, I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, and and one of the problems with Dynasty is everybody wants younger stud players, and nobody wants the old vets. So it's when you're trying to, Chris Carson, he's only like 25 years old.
Right.
I kind of have it stuck in my head that he's like ancient, but he's really not.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing. I think he's older too every time I hear the name. So when you say he's 25, that's like, whoa. I
think his injuries give the impression that he's a little older.
Yeah, I think so too.
But he's one of those guys where I like him, and he's a Seahawk, and maybe that's I'm kind of maybe too. I underrate Seahawks in fantasy a little bit because I kind of know how the offense rolls, and I watch them all the time.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I'm not really, and Carson's not Marshawn Lynch. Like, he doesn't have that grit to him, and he's gritty. He's a power back, but he's not. When you go from Marshawn Lynch to somebody, you're not going to measure up too much.
Right.
It's hard to fill those shoes. But we're going to get into our analysis of games. Before we do that, this episode of IDP Nation is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Guys, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue, like the color blue.
And Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis.
Yeah, and you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. If you've been out to eat or whatever, little dinner and dancing, and you're ready to take mama home. You can take them at the drop of a hat. There you go. And since they're chewable, they work up twice as fast as a pill. So you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. If you can benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance.
And Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package.
And the best part, they're made in the USA. And
USA.
Yeah, that's right. And since Blue Chew prepares and ships them direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy, no awkwardness. You don't have to leave the house. You can sit there and you can be like, well, the wife will be home here pretty soon. Just order it. There it is. You've got it. So right now we've got a special for you. For our listeners only, go visit bluechew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code IDP Nation. All you got to do is just pay the $5 shipping. Again, that's blue, BLUE, chew.com. Promo code is IDP Nation. Try it for free. Blue Chew is the cheaper, better, faster choice, and we thank them for the sponsoring our podcast.
Yep, and we will be continued to be brought. This show will continue to be sponsored by Blue Chew for the upcoming weeks. So we thank them very much for their sponsorship.
Yep.
And go get yourself some Blue Chew.
And remember, when you help them, you're helping us.
Yes.
So
make sure you use the code, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah. If you don't use that code, IDP Nation at BlueChew.com, that's what you want to do there. So help them out, help us out, and more importantly, help yourself out.
Yes, that's what she said. Anyways, so we are going to get into week number 1. We're going to kind of break down the games, kind of look at one or two players to watch in the games, and make our picks. I know we've kind of been debating back and forth how to handle in-season, and I know a lot of us want us to look ahead. So we are going to look ahead. We will talk a little bit about the week before, but we will be mainly looking forward, especially today, because tonight it's football time.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait. Do you ever listen to the fantasy footballers?
I do.
I listen to them in season. Off season, I don't listen to much fantasy anymore, because I listen to so much of it in season that I kind of try to take a break. But yeah, one of my favorite things is on Thursdays when they're playing the intro, they say, "It's football time." I don't know why it's one of my favorite things. I guess because I'm so pumped that it's a Thursday night game coming up. I mean, Thursday night games are terrible, but I'm so pumped for football that it makes me happy to hear that. So I will be waiting tomorrow to hear that on the way to the gym.
Awesome.
Anyway, we have the Super Bowl winners, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans. The Chiefs are hoisting their banner and hosting the Texans. I already know who you're picking just because you hate the AFC South, but go ahead and pick who you're picking here.
See, this is a tough one because you're right. I do hate the AFC South with every fiber of my being. But Kansas City put us out. We was on a historic run, and they put us out. So I'm kind of torn. I'll put it this way. I think we are the best team in the AFC, and I think over the course of the season that'll prove itself. So you might want to record this. Are you going to pull for Houston to beat Kansas City?
You're going to pick Houston.
Yes.
That is pretty shocking. Although, I mean, this could be an offensive shootout. I think it will be. I mean, their playoff game in the playoffs was a shootout. I mean, Houston came out of the gate just stomping the Chiefs.
Oh, man. Did they ever. Whew.
That historic comeback. I think it was historic comeback. They had like 60 points by halftime. The one thing to keep in mind, though, and this is something to keep a track of in the early part of the season, is these teams have had zero real football. I don't think these offenses are going to click as well as they would in January when they've played 16-plus games together.
Right.
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs, and we don't have to analyze too painstakingly about who we want to win. But who I know the player I want to see in this game is Willie Gay. I want to see how big of a role he's playing in this game. And I also want to see Anthony Hitchens because, as I stated earlier, we have a little wager on this game on the IDP Lounge that I said Hitchens would out-tackle, who'd you say, Cunningham?
Yes.
Okay. So we will check the box score on Friday morning, and I will either be wearing an Eddie George jersey or Darrell will be – what did we say you're doing?
Oh, I can't even remember.
Or that Seahawks lime green shirt you have.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, yeah. I'm okay with that. I like Cunningham. I still hedge that bet, so, hey.
I know.
I'm
so
not
who do you
scared.
want to see? Who do you want to see in that game? Besides, I guess Cunningham is who you want to see in the game.
You know, I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, he's going to play well, surely, coming off an off season. J.J. Watt, is he going to be what he's been in the past? You know, is he going to be able to stay healthy? How does that look? But I'm also wanting to see who's going to be that guy opposite him. Is it Charles Omenihu? Is it Whitney Merciless? I think it was. I can't remember who the guy was that played for.
I think as a rusher, it's going to be Merciless. I think Omenihu is going to play that interior lineman role, which –
yeah. I want to see who steps up and takes that responsibility, that role on, because they're going to have somebody to keep Watt from getting double teamed. And
we already left.
Yeah.
I mean, Merciless is kind of that next guy up.
And he didn't do bad last year.
They drafted Greenard. I'm not sure how much he's going to play. So one guy, we're going to talk about these games for 20 hours if we go on this long about every game. One guy.
Okay. All right, one guy.
Cunningham, is it?
Cunningham's the guy I'm watching.
Next up, the Seattle Seahawks travel east to Atlanta. I'm going to pick Seattle, and I want to see how they use Jordan Brooks. I'd say Darrell Taylor, but he's apparently not playing for a couple weeks. But I want to see Jordan Brooks and how they use him, and if he's going to be a high percentage player to start the season or not, if they're going to ease him in.
Right. I would agree. I wanted to see Darrell Taylor too because y'all just desperately need a pass rusher, and I think he's going to be that guy for you. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait. So with you, I'm interested to see how they use Brooks, where he fits in, and I want to see their big new shiny toy Jamal Adams too. I want to see him come out game one and just take over. So
I want to see him too. So we don't want to see anybody on Atlanta because they're terrible.
Yeah, they suck.
Offensively, I think they'll be great. And I'm going to take Seattle hesitantly in this game. Seattle has a history of slow starts. And Atlanta beat them last year, I believe. So
I'm going to take Seattle on this one.
Okay. Johnny sent you the link. By the way, I think Johnny the Greek has an IDP guys. What's it called? Pick'em. So you guys can join it, and you guys can keep track with us. That's where we're going to keep track of our picks. Yahoo. If he wants it to be public, we'll tweet it out so you guys can join us and follow along with that. I think it's public. I think it's for fun for our IDP heads to pick games. Next game up, speaking of Jamal Adams, his former team is going to travel to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills.
And I just drafted Adams, by the way.
You just did? Good.
I just did.
You have a draft going on right now.
I do. The one I forgot.
Yeah, the one you forgot about.
But I made it on time, so I've done well.
It's a good thing you charged your computer, too.
Yeah.
Who you got, Buffalo or New York?
I got to take Buffalo. I've been preaching they're going to win this division, so I think it's them. New York, I just don't know. I want to say New York's going to be better. I mean, how could they be any worse? But you never know with Gase and that crew up there. So I'm taking Buffalo. The one player I want to watch, of course, Ed Oliver. Now that he's had a season, I think he's going to be a beast that I've been preaching that he's going to be. So I want to see him come out and dominate that New York Jets offensive line.
All right. So you took Oliver. I'm going to take Blake Cashman on the New York Jets. I'm going to see him take over. Make CJ Mosley expendable.
Yep.
because, I mean, quite honestly, the Jets could probably move on from him next year.
Or Williamson. I mean, they do have Hewitt too. So
I want to see Cashman. Is who I want to see. I also, you know what, as a honorable mention, I want to see Bryce Hager. Who I want to see. Bryce Huff. What am I saying?
Yeah, Bryce Huff. I was like, oh, what is he talking about? Yes, our boy Bryce Huff.
I don't know where I got Bryce Hager
and
from.
He is so excited, by the way. I talked to him earlier today. Congratulated him, told him we was proud of him, and he's like, thank you for all you've done. So I want to pass that along to you. And he said he was when he gets time, he wants to come back on the show with us. So
that'd be awesome. I say he's too busy to click like on my tweet for him. I'm just kidding. I messed up your name too, so yeah. Sorry. It's been a long couple days here. We had a 4-day weekend, but my brain's been fried because trying to teach kids remotely is not fun. Just for anybody out there who thought it was a breeze and it's so easy and you don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, it's actually, I think, harder than being in a classroom. So, but yeah, I'm picking Buffalo as well. Next game, Chicago at Detroit. Who you got?
Oh, easily Chicago. I think they're gonna run a rough shot over Detroit.
Really?
I do. I think that defense is going to be way too much for them.
You have faith in Trash Bisky.
No, I just have faith in the rest of that team and that defense. I think it's a lot better than.
I think a healthy Stafford and a healthy core of their. I mean, Swift is a little banged up, but I mean, I think Detroit wins this game. To be honest, I mean, Trash Bisky is Trash Bisky for a reason.
Yeah, but Detroit's defense is just not the best right now.
We haven't seen it.
I don't think I need to.
Jesus. I don't know. I think Detroit is a little better than we're giving credit for. I still think Patricia gets fired, but I don't think Chicago is. Chicago doesn't have a running back.
That does hurt them. I just think their defense is going to carry them, keep them in the game. So
I don't think they can. I think Detroit has weapons, man. They have a lot of weapons on offense, and that they'll have a run game. I mean, whether or not you believe, I mean, Adrian Peterson, he's old, but he's going to carry the rock. I mean, he might carry it 30 times.
Maybe.
A player I want to see the most out of this game is probably Halani Tavai. I want to see if he has a huge role in this Detroit linebacking crew. I mean, he's kind of the guy in the middle-ish, I think. Gerard Davis is moving towards more of an outside role from what I've heard.
Right.
But Jamie Collins is also there. How much does he steal from the other linebackers? Is he as productive as he was last couple of years?
Right. And I guess the one player I want to see is probably – it's a combo. I want to see Robert Quinn and his impact on that team. Is he going to be able to do enough to free up Khalil Mack and let Mack be the old Mack that we've seen?
The answer is no. Khalil Mack is a better football player than an IDP player.
All right. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mean, you got to think he's going to be a little better with a competent pass rusher on that other side of him. So we'll see. But I'm watching Robert Quinn.
This next game here, Green Bay at Minnesota, was a lot different in my mind about, 24 hours ago when Danielle Hunter was not on the IR. I would say he's the guy I want to watch in this game, but he's not going to play. But I am interested to see Yannick Ngakoue in purple. It's going to look weird. But I am not picking the Minnesota Vikings. I am picking the Green Bay Packers because they have young corners that who knows what they have out there. And I don't think they know what they have out there. And if anybody can take advantage of a mismatch, it's Aaron Rodgers. His skills have declined a bit as far as a quarterback. He's still one of the top guys, and he's still going to throw a lot, but he's not the Aaron Rodgers that we all thought was the overall number one quarterback in fantasy anymore.
Right.
but he is he's wily, and he's still got an arm on him. So I'm picking Green Bay to go into Minnesota and win. If they had Hunter, I think this game would be a little different, but I don't think they'll get enough pressure on Rodgers to disrupt what he wants to do.
I'm going with Minnesota. I think they're going to run that ball. They're going to miss Hunter. That's going to hurt them a lot. But if Ngakoue can do what he's supposed to do, what they hope he can do, that'll help. Vikings seem to have their number here lately, so I'm going to stick with them. I think they're the favorite. And like you said, I don't think Rodgers he's not who we thought he was or hoped he would be. So that's where I'm going. And my player to watch is Ngakoue.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Ngakoue in purple.
It's going to be interesting.
I guess I want to see Kirksey and see if he can stay healthy too on Green Bay, just to mention something.
And Oren Burks, can he stay healthy? Can he do anything? I mean, that's another one.
I don't know. We'll move on here. Next up, the soon-to-be AFC champion Miami Dolphins will travel to New England to take on Cam Newton. Obviously, I think Miami's going to win this game if I'm picking them to win the division, which may be crazy. It may be a hot take, which I've said before. I'm not a huge fan of hot takes, but I have faith in Fitzmagic and crew. And I want to see – I'll go obscure here. I want to see Noah Igbenani or whatever his last name might be. I probably butchered it, but – I want to see the slot corner who might play outside because Xavier Howard is not is banged up as usual. I think that's his usual Q next to his name. I believe that's the case. I may be wrong about that. But I'm picking Miami. I think Cam is going to make the team decent, but I think this New England defense is decimated, A, by the Dolphins stealing their players, and B, by the COVID.
Right.
A lot of good players are sitting on the sidelines or on the other sideline from the Dolphins.
Yeah, so many. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I want to see – there's so many questions with them, but I think they still have a good enough team because Miami has been Miami for so long, and can they get over that hump? So – until they do, I'm going to stick with New England, and then who I want to see is it's a multiple people: Uche, Jennings, Winovich. I want to see where these players are being used, how they're being used. Duggar, that's another one. So it's no one certain person. I'm just kind of enjoying everything, taking it all in, and see who's doing what.
That'll be an interesting game to check the snap counts afterwards because both teams have different situations. New England has a very young team. You want to see how the snaps shake out. Miami, on the other hand, just brought in a bunch of talent. How are their snaps going to shake out? Who does Brian Flores see as his leaders on that defense?
And I've been listening to you talk about it a lot, and I'm kind of coming around to your side on Miami. I think they're going to be a lot better team with this veteran-laden team that they've kind of put together. There's a familiarity from New England. They all know what's his name? The coach. I just went brain dead.
Brian Flores.
Yes, Brian Flores. So there's familiarity there. They know each other fairly well. So I like it. I think it's a good win now. Change the culture, get it going, moves.
He changed the you know what? He changed the culture there when they went when they beat New England. That game, I think.
But now Miami has always had a chance to beat, or not chance. They've always had a knack for beating New England.
But that team was a complete laughing stock the first half of the season. Everybody thought they had Joe Burrow wrapped up and a bow put on, or Tua or whoever. That win, in my mind, they believed in themselves. Now, he did bring in a lot of talent from the outside, but that changed, I think, their own perception of themselves as being, because they were in the beginning of the season, they were doing what the Jaguars did.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
getting rid of players. Minkah Fitzpatrick. Everybody just gone. Traded Kenny Stills and Tunstall. They just got rid of people.
Right.
And everybody thought they were nuts, that they were tanking. And that game, I think, made a lot of people wake up and say, wow, this team is a lot better than we gave them credit for. And
I agree.
That, sometimes you fight together as a team, you gain camaraderie, and you pull things out.
Yep, I agree.
I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think winning – it's a weak division.
It is. I still think
I
Buffalo's your team to beat, but –
That's the chalk pick, and I wanted to go with a little different.
I don't know if it's chalk or not. There's too many questions with New England right now. There's just too many. We're going to find out if it was Belichick or if it was Brady or if it was both. We're going to find out real soon how that clicked. Is New York a challenger? No. Is Miami a challenger? No. I think they're getting closer, Miami is. So for me, I'm taking Buffalo right now. I know that's the chalk pick, as you say, but
if Buffalo's 10-6 and winning the division, and Miami's 8-8. That's it's a couple games here or there. I think could go.
I understand.
Moving on, we talked about that game way too much because you love to talk about New England way too much.
You're just a hater.
You're a closet New England fan, I think.
TB12
at Washington. He's not there anymore, so stop.
He's still TB12.
Philadelphia at Washington. I'm picking the Eagles, but I want to see Chase Young is who I want to see.
Boy, do I ever. And since you said Young, I'm going to take Montez Sweat because he's the starter opposite. I want to see how he reacts, how he fares with a stud across from him instead of trying to do it on his own, so to speak. And I want to watch that front four more or less. Or as we've said many times, that front six with Kerrigan and Ioannidis in rotational roles, they're going to be beast.
So you know what's scary? They have Ioannidis, Kerrigan, and Thomas Davis as reserves.
Yeah, I know. I didn't understand that.
I'm not sure about Thomas Davis. And here's where, these depth charts.
They had Ryan Anderson as a backup too, which I kind of didn't.
They were talking about trading him. I think on the lounge we talked about that.
Yeah, but still, he's only been there, 2 years?
I don't know. He's not very good at football.
But I don't think they're not really worried about their linebackers. That Cole Holcomb, they're not worried about their linebackers. They got a front four that's going to eat people alive.
Anyway, because teams are going to have to throw on that team. They're not going to be able to win.
Yeah, and you got Landon Collins back there in the back. Good luck.
Well, that's the middle. You got the middle you can exploit, and the outside probably because their corners aren't world
They got
beaters.
one good corner. He's a second-year guy. He's growing. Morley.
Well, no, they have Breland, or not Breland. One of the Fullers. They got a Fuller on their team.
Oh,
Fuller's real good.
yeah. Okay.
If your name's Fuller and you're a corner, you're good.
Are they related to Robert Fuller and of the old days back in wrestling?
I don't know. I think they're brothers, though, Kyle and Kendall Fuller. Anyway, moving on. I think you're picking the Eagles, right?
Yeah, I think they're so much better offensively. The weapons they have.
Washington, I like Ron Rivera going in there, trying to change culture, trying to change the team.
I think it might be closer than what people think.
It always is.
I think it will be.
Up with each other. I think Wentz is going to be under pressure all day. It's going to be how he handles that pressure that's really going to make.
I can see Deshaun Jackson catching a big one, burning them at some point in the game.
He'll pull a hamstring in week 3 and he'll be done for the season. So.
True, but I can see that happening.
Next up, Las Vegas at Carolina. I'm going with Vegas.
Vegas all the way.
It's so weird to say that. Not to beat up on Carolina. I actually want to see Jeremy Chin is the player I want to see in this game. And you notice a trend in my picks for these games of who I want to see. I want to see the rookies. I want to see how much they play, how much impact they have on the defensive scheme, and if we've been right about some of these guys or wrong about some of these guys. And I know There was reports that he's going to get eased into the lineup, and I think a lot of rookies might be in that boat where they have never played any competition. They played each other in practice.
Right.
You can't find out what you have in practice. So you're going with Vegas. Who do you want to see on the defensive side of the ball?
Nick Kwiatkowski. I want to see how he fits in down there.
And out tackle Corey Littleton and outscore Corey Littleton and IDP.
I want to see if that's a possibility. I want to see if,
Don't you worry.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see. And Jonathan Abram, I want to see how he does in his return. Has he learned he can't just come out banging heads right out the gate? But, yeah, he's going to be something special. I want to see how he's back from returns back from his injury. So those are the two things I want to see. And, yes, I have the Raiders winning.
All right, next game up is Indianapolis at Jacksonville. I'll tell you right now, this is my lock of the week. This is my survivor pick of the week. Something tells me it's going to be a lot closer than people think it will be, just because these games always seem to be close, the Indianapolis-Jacksonville games. Jacksonville just doesn't have the talent, I don't think, to A, pass rush and put heat on Phillip Rivers. And B, I mean, Josh Allen's good, but he's one guy. All the attention's going to Allen. I want to see the Maniac, because I have him a lot of places. I want to see Darius Leonard, for those of you who don't know his nickname. I know who you want to see. You want to see Kaylavon Chason for Jacksonville.
No, actually, I don't. I think Indianapolis is going to roll them. The one I want to see is DeForest Buckner in his new home in Indianapolis. Because I'll be honest, that trade scared me when they made it, because we all know he is a beast, and that's going to be an impact player for them. And
you know what he's going to do? He's going to take that little tiny hole that Darius Leonard had to run through the gap and
make it a lot bigger.
So I think he opens up a lot for the linebackers and the edge rushers team. They lost their ball sheared, but they still have Justin Houston. They have a couple of young guys moving up. Indy's going to roll them, I think. But like I said, something about the AFC South games, man. They're never quite what they seem.
They are, but I really think with what Jacksonville's done, just selling off every good piece they've had, basically, I think they're in for a long season. I hate it for them. Actually, I don't, but it's going to be rough. I mean, it's going to be rough to watch what's coming.
So, dear NFL, the NFL Red Zone's gimmick is they have a quad or an octobox. So why do they schedule 9 games for 1 o'clock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 games for 1 o'clock. And we got like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and you got 2 on Monday night and 1 on Thursday night. So that hurts it a little bit. But, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, split it in half. Is that hard?
It is for them.
Let's look here. Green Bay should play at 4 o'clock. Chicago should play at 4 o'clock. 2 games. Move them to 4 o'clock. Easy. I just made the schedule. I just made the NFL schedule that much better and that much more entertaining for the people.
I get it.
But then they wouldn't have their octobox. So maybe you just move one of those games. So you have 4 games at 4 and 8 games. I know they love the octobox, and I love Chris Hansen, and I love the octobox, but I like equal action in these games. But yeah, next game, the last of the 1 o'clock games, Baltimore is home to face the Cleveland Browns. I don't think it's a doubt of who I want to see in this game. It's Queen. I want to see if he's the LB1 that I've touted him to be this offseason of the rookie class.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I think it's Queen too. That's who everybody wants to see. I don't think Cleveland has much of a chance. I mean, they'll have some chance with Garrett and them back. That'll help them. But
They have a chance, but I think Baltimore is a dynamic offense, and they will run the ball without the linebacker help that Cleveland is lost with Mac.
And that may be one spot we want to see. Who's running that? Is it Jacob Phillips? Is it Sion Takitaki?
Takitaki knocked into the middle. It's if Phillips is going to play more, or if the guy they picked up off the street, Malcolm Smith 2 weeks ago, if he's going to be a guy that plays.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see, who, what, when, where, and why with those guys. So, but yeah, I'm with you. I think Baltimore's going to run all over them.
So we both got Baltimore winning that game. The 4 o'clock game's 4:05. Oh man, this one's weak. The red zone won't be going to this. Actually, they might be, because the Los Angeles Chargers travel to Cincinnati to play Joe Burrow and the Burrow Bengals.
Oh, the Burrow Bengals. They're going to be Burrow in their head.
I think the Chargers do enough to win.
I think that'll be a close game, actually.
It will be a close game because, is Tyrod Taylor that much more capable than Joe Burrow?
I don't think he is.
Taylor's a good backup, and he's been a career backup. I think he'd be a good mentor for Herbert. I don't see them lasting the whole season with Tyrod at that quarterback.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a ground and pound game as far as Los Angeles. They're going to want to control the clock, not make the quarterback win the game. But for the Chargers, I think you know what? I'll change the script up a little bit. I want to see if Logan Wilson is as much of the real deal as you say he is.
I'm telling you, man. They get him up. They wouldn't have drafted him that early if they were that sold on Pratt. They wouldn't have.
No. And
even if they are, they still need help. Who do they have outside of Pratt? Even if they are.
Josh Vines.
Next. See, this is how you got me in trouble with the Chris Board shit the other day. This is how you provoke me. I see it in your eye right now. I'm looking at you. You got that little twinkle, and you're like, this is how I'm going to get him wound up for the Patreon. I already see this coming. I know you.
Well, I got to get you wound up for Patreon.
Oh, well, you're doing a damn good job. Don't.
Who do you want to see in this game, and who are you picking the Chargers?
Oh, man, this is going to be so tough. Chargers, Cincinnati. I think Eckler, Allen, offensively, I think they have enough. They pull it out. Just kind of a little bit of too much unproven. I think Cincinnati's going to run with Mixon, I'm sorry. I want to see Logan Wilson. For the Chargers, I want to see how they're using Desmond King. I want to see who's exactly taking over for Derwin James now that he's out. That's such a big blow. I hate it for him. But those are two I want to look at. I'm not really looking at Joey Bosa. As you say, I hate him, and he should be knocking on my door any minute now, but still waiting for that knock. But
as a bonus, you know who I want to see for the Los Angeles Chargers?
It's got to be somebody I'm forgetting. Oh, no, I know who it is. It just hit.
Sorry, I'll hit that again. It was a little low. That's who I want to see for the Los
I knew it was
Angeles
coming when I forgot for a minute, and then as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, shit, here it comes.
Automatically know it's coming. You should just know at this point. Next 4 o'clock game. This is the heavyweight title match. Besides, we have the pre-fight in Kansas City and Houston. This is the heavyweight title match here of the weekend. The Tampa Bay Toms take on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans, and that's why I am going with Drew Brees because and the Saints because it's in New Orleans, and I think that Drew Brees will take care of business at home. The Saints are a much better team at home than they are on the road, and Brees is a much better quarterback at home. Who I want to see in this game, I want to see Antoine Winfield Jr.
Ah, dang, that's who I wanted to see.
So I want to see if he's starting, how much he's playing. Kind of like
I've heard
shit.
he's going to be the starter. I wished I could find that, but I heard that was who.
They didn't have much. I mean, Jordan Whitehead and Justin Evans and Mike Edwards, they're good players, but none of them are top tier feared safeties.
Right.
So, by the way, you're in. Are you actually making your picks?
In what?
In the Yahoo League. You just joined.
Jesus, we're picking there too? God.
That's where we're picking you.
Oh.
It's the one place we're picking. We're only picking in one place. The IDP guy.
Well, yeah, I'm on this. I got this.
You know, half hour ago we had this conversation. You know, Johnny the Greek, we put this together. It's the IDP guys, blah, blah, blah.
God dang it, didn't
I already joined it, so I don't have to join anything else. Here you go.
Yes, I've joined it. Oh, the Saints easily. I think that's a no-brainer.
Really? Because you've been.
I know, but the Saints is a better team.
I will save my comment for the Patreon because.
Oh my God! See, if you missed this Patreon, shame on you because this may be a good one. He is poking me from every angle right now. Freaking asshole! This is why I hate you. This is why you have no friends. Okay,
that's what she said written all over. Anyway, and I don't mean that in any kind of sexist way. It's an office joke, people. Anyway, next, Arizona at San Fran.
I think this will be a good game.
I think it will be too. I mean, San Francisco took Arizona to the woodshed one of the games. Actually, so I am going to go with the 49ers here. Because I think Arizona is an improved team and they will show they are better, but San Francisco had their number and waxed them, I think, last year. I think in both games they waxed them pretty well. And here we go again. It seems like the same old story. I want to see Isaiah Simmons and see where the hell he's going to be lined up and how they use him and if he's going to play 100% snaps like I think we all think he's going to.
All right.
And where are those snaps coming from? They have said they've come out and said he's a linebacker. Is he really? You know, is he going to be an edge guy? Is he going to be inside? Is he going to be a safety? Is he going to be a corner? I mean, honestly, if you're the defensive coordinator, I mean, your team can put all this publication out that you want about how he's a this, he's a that. You got to use your best players in the best positions, and you know, Budda Baker's one of those players, and Isaiah Simmons is probably one of those players too.
Right. Oh, I'm going with San Francisco. You know, reigning NFC champ. I want to see if they can get back, see if they're hungry. Player I want to watch is Javon Kinlow.
He's got big shoes to fill.
Exactly, huge shoes to fill. But in his defense, look what he's got around him. So is it really that big of shoes to fill? I mean, he's got it a lot easier than going to Jacksonville or a Cincinnati or somewhere like that. He's got a very talented team around him. So I think that lessens the blow. But let's make no mistake, DeForest Buckner was the man there, and I want to see if he can fill that role. So I'm watching that real closely.
Yeah, that's a good one. He could – I mean, Derek Brown is in the opposite situation. He doesn't really have – I mean, he has a couple edge guys that can rush, but
right.
He doesn't have – I mean, he has – I guess he has K'Wan Short in the middle. So, but looking at the Niners line and looking at other – I mean, honestly – the only defensive line end-to-end that I think can compete with the 49ers is the Redskins line. Like those are the top two defensive lines from, you know, across all 4 spots. And I know some teams run 3, but across all 4 spots, I think those are the top 2 defensive lines in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. Absolutely.
Up there with the addition of Ngakoue, but you look at the talent. I mean, if Armstead can stay healthy, if Solomon Thomas can do anything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they just need him to be a body.
I mean, they have a couple ifs, whereas I think Washington's kind of – there's no ifs and ands or buts about their line. I think these guys have a couple more ifs than Washington. But yeah, I'm picking the Niners. You, Nelson?
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners.
All right. Next up, the Sunday night game, Dallas at Rams. I think this is a good game. I don't know that it's necessarily I would rather see the New Orleans-Tampa Bay game in this slot, but, I mean, whatever. We'll get football. We'll see most of the New Orleans-Tampa game anyway because on Red Zone because that'll be the big game. I'm going to go with Dallas to spoil the upcoming the first game in that beautiful going to be empty Los Angeles Stadium, SoFi Stadium. It's kind of a shame to have your opening with an empty arena like that or empty stadium.
Right.
But I think the Cowboys win. I think the Rams have lost more than they've replaced, I think. And I think
so. I agree with you on that. But I'm going to pull a shocker here. I think they find a way to upset Dallas. I really do.
They're a good team.
I mean, they are, but I mean, like you said, they've lost more than they've gotten back or replaced or whatever. They still have quite possibly the best player in the entire league in Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And that defense is not too bad. They have good weapons on offense with Woods and Cooper Kupp. And despite what you think about Jared Goff, I'm not a believer, but he does get it done. I have to see how they use Cam Akers or Darrell Henderson. Those guys, I would think that's kind of their
offense. What defensive player do you want to see?
Defense, I want to see. Ooh, this is tough. I want to watch my guy Taylor Rapp.
I want to watch a safety, but the guy on the other side of the field. I want to see Darian Thompson. Sorry, not Darian Stewart. Darian Thompson.
I want to see Rapp.
I want to see him because I want to see if he's terrible, how quickly McCarthy gets on the phone with Earl Thomas. If he gets beat a couple times, I have a feeling that call to Earl Thomas could come next week.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, it could come very quick.
Eric Reed is still in the street. Jabal Sheard is still in the street. Seattle, please call Jabal Sheard.
Ugh. Antoine Bethea is still out there.
He's a little older than these guys.
He is, but he's a proven veteran. I mean, look what he did last year.
Eric Reed and Earl Thomas are younger and proven veterans.
Okay, I need your help here a minute. Tariq Cohen, Darrell Henderson.
Cohen.
Okay.
No doubt. He's the lead back for them right now for the first 6 weeks.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was kind of overthinking that for a minute, so thank you.
Even when David Opportunity comes back, I mean,
Opportunity.
Worst thing too, but I like the nickname. It's funny.
Oh shit, that was great.
Well, if you think of David Montgomery last year, we loved him because of the opportunity. He was the only thing in town, and he was going to get fed, and he still did okay. But I think our expectations of him were blown out of proportion. Which I think, Clyde Edwards-Helaire could fit in that blown out of proportion ranks. I mean, he was drafted in the first round of every redraft I did this year.
Right.
I get it. He has that opportunity to eat, but is Andy gonna unleash him? I don't know.
Good question. Very good question. We'll see.
I picked Dallas. You picked the Rams. Next up, Pittsburgh at the New York Football Giants at 7:10 on Monday night. I love this Monday night coming up because there's 2 games. I'm going to go I'm going to go with the
And
Steelers.
I have took both days off, by the way, Monday and Tuesday.
I got to work, but that's okay. I don't have to drive anywhere on Monday morning or Tuesday morning, so I'll be walking down the basement, tired or not.
Right.
I'm thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers with Big Ben back. Their defense was really good last year, and it was kind of clouded because of the quarterback play being abysmal at best. New York is an up-and-coming is a team on the rise, but I still think they have a couple years to figure it out. And my guy to watch is not really too shocking to anybody. It's going to be your boy, your poster child, Blake Martinez.
That's right.
We'll see if he can equal his output.
He can. You just keep doubting him, Dan. You just keep doubting him. Have
you seen my rosters lately? Obviously not. I have Blake Martinez everywhere, so you can't tell me I don't believe in him. I draft him all over the place.
Well, I'm proud of you. I am. You're finally listening to me. I'm proud of you.
I've never really doubted Blake Martinez's production, so you're barking up the wrong tree with this.
I know. I'm just talking about everybody else that keeps hating on him.
I just want to see who's going to have the same opportunity. Who do you got? Who do you want to watch in this game? Who do you got? I
wanted to go Martinez. I wish McKinney was playing because that would have been my guy. Yeah, I wanted Logan Ryan's a good one, but the guy I want to really watch is Devon Bush. I want to see what he's doing with year 2 now. I've heard a lot of hype, and I expect a lot out of him in year 2. So I want to see what he's doing. I want to see him turn it on and be the next great Pittsburgh Steeler linebacker.
All right. You're picking the Steelers, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I like Barkley, but their receivers are and
yeah.
We didn't
I like
even
Slayton. Slayton's a good late pick, a deep pick. I like Slayton.
The funny thing is, neither one of us mentioned the guy that's going to have the most impact on the game, probably, and that's T.J. Watt.
Probably, but I think he's more of a given, kind of. Don't you think?
Yeah, he's not a guy I want to watch to see something new.
I mean, everybody kind of knows what he's going to get you, what he's going to give you. I just think Devon Bush is the guy you want to watch. I mean, you can tell everybody again how many leagues I spent high pick on him. I believe in him, and I think he's a perfect fit for him. Once he gets his feet, or not his feet set, but once he gets a little more experience, I'm telling you, he is going to be something to watch in that Pittsburgh defense.
Including 3rd overall in a rookie draft.
I ain't scared.
Just wanted to bring that up. Last, and this must have been planned just for you, your Tennessee Titans. Hopefully they've been practicing with masks on or something, or oxygen deprived. They have to go to the Mile High City in Denver. It freaking snowed the other day.
Oh, I love that. Now that's the good thing. I love that.
And wildfire, snow.
Hey, they needed that snow with all those wildfires, though. Come on now.
It's just I don't know. 2020 is something else.
It has. It can go do something.
Yeah. How's Henry in the altitude?
I'm sure he'll be just fine. If you pick against my Titans, we may fight. I'm just saying.
Do it just to piss you off.
Jesus fucking Christ. See, I can't. Just keep on poking. This Patreon's going to be completely off the freaking hook. I'm telling you right now.
Tennessee, and you know who's going to win it for them?
Oh, if I hate you. I so hate you. I hate you. I really do.
I'm picking Tennessee, and you know who I want to see in this game? I actually want to see a Denver player. I want to see what Josie Jewell has left in the tank, because I have him in a ton of leagues.
Yeah.
I overdrafted him the year before. And I want to see what he's got left in the tank, if he's going to be a playmaker for this defense. They cut Todd Davis, so obviously they have a plan. Is that going to be Mark Barron? God, I hope not, or else Denver's really screwed this year, because if that's your plan, then you don't have a plan. I'm going tight.
That's
I should have said I want to see Vic Beasley for the Titans.
I would have killed you. I literally would have drove to Pennsylvania and killed you.
This is an admission of
take it for what you will.
Violence planned against somebody.
I hate you. Everybody can understand now why I hate you. Asshole. You're such an asshole. But I'm going to take Tennessee, of course. Of course. The one guy I want to watch, I want to see how Casey does, former Titan. I want to see how he fits in Denver. But the one guy I really want to watch is Rashawn Evans, linebacker for Titans. Heard a lot of good things, expecting a lot more blitz opportunities out of him. So I want to see how that works out. That's the guy I want to see. And Jadeveon Clowney, I want to see how he does too. So.
Your answer and my answer should be whoever is going to take that Logan Ryan role. This is, I think, what the answer might be. I think for IDP, that is going to be.
I just don't know. Oh, I don't know. Adoree and, God forbid, Malcolm Butler are going to be. I think it's going to be Adoree from what I'm hearing. Butler and Fulton is going to be your outside guys, but I think Adoree, they're expecting a lot out of him, so we'll see. I
have Adoree Jackson in a lot of places.
I do too, and he's good because he gets you a lot of return yards, kickoff, punt return stuff. So if he can put it together defensively, and from what I'm hearing locally, from radio stations, beat reporters. The coaching staff is really pushing Adoree. They know how athletic he is. They know how talented he is. Now they're pushing him to put it all together and be that guy. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with this year.
We did get tagged in a question here before we sign off.
Well, I had 3 questions, but okay.
Well, I have one that we were tagged in an hour ago. It was Micah Kiser versus Dallas or TJ Watt versus the Giants.
Watt.
Well, yeah. And the comment here is the projections for week 1 have Kiser at 20.5 points and Watt at 14 points. And that's really something I do want to see. And we didn't even mention the 2 train wreck linebacking groups that we have been arguing and answering questions about all offseason. The Rams and the Eagles. I may want to see those 2, how they shake out, just so we can tell people the answer of here's the answer. And we're done. But yeah, I'm going with TJ Watt here. So we definitely are going, I think, TJ Watt with this.
Yeah, TJ Watt, definitely. You got time for these 3 questions or no?
You know what? They should join Patreon and we'll answer them for free. Just kidding.
All right.
Fire away.
They're quick. Our buddy Z Mags, he wants to know, hit me up with some thoughts on D Ford this season. If he can stay healthy, I think he's a really good pass rush option. Yeah, I think that's probably the over-under, actually.
10 sacks.
I like that if he can stay healthy. If he doesn't, then I think he's kind of done. They move on from him. Our next buddy, this is a jab at me. Our buddy Sean that always listens and tunes in.
To bust your balls.
Yeah, he says, do you think you can still win your bet with hashtag the boss man, Nate Cheek, with Danielle Hunter being on the IR for the first month? You know what? I ain't scared of Nate and his silly little pick with Myles Garrett because he likes to swing helmets or whatever. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spot him that first month, and I'm going to stay with Danielle Hunter in this bet. So, yeah, I think I can beat him.
Oh, man. That Titans poster is going to look nice in Nate's background.
Well,
what's the next one?
It's probably better than what he's got hanging up over his wall because if I win, I've already told you where mine's going.
Oh.
I'll probably be getting a reprimand as we know it.
Just replied, sadly, the injury cancels the bet. And he I'm going to comment that you want to continue the bet with the penalty.
Hey, if he wants to keep going, I'm not scared. I'll leave it up to him. If he wants to keep going, we'll do it.
Anyway, what's the last question?
And the last one is from Jay-Z and a bunch of numbers. Julian Love again this year on Yahoo is a corner.
Julian
That's
Love?
you. Yes.
Well, Yahoo, first of all, if you're playing on Yahoo, you might want. It's time to move to my fantasy league now.
Yes.
First of all.
Oh, and before we leave, we talk about our fantasy league. You should be playing there. All your leagues should be there. And when you win, you should go to Trophy Smack. And you should get one of these right here for your league winner or yourself. One of these bling rings, as they call it. And, man, I'm telling you, it's exquisitely made, nice and heavy, beautiful ring. They got trophies. They got plaques. They got the championship belts me and Dan has been oohing and ahhing over. They've got anything and everything. They've even got something for losers. You can pick out stuff for losers. So, when you win your league, no matter where it is, but it should be on my fantasy league, go to trophysmack.com, and I have that link pinned to my Twitter page. You can go there, click the link. It'll take you to their page, and you can sign up and buy whatever it is that you want for your champion or your loser. And again, I know you get tired of the promos and stuff like that, but it helps us out. It helps us cover some of the podcast cost and stuff like that. So anything you buy from them, we get a little kickback off of that as well. So trophysmack.com. I have personally bounced around a few different trophy sites, and I have some rings that I've won from other leagues. And I'm telling you, the one they sent us to show off right here, this one right here, is very nice and beats anything that I have. So high quality stuff, reasonable prices, trophysmack.com.
Well, thank you, Darrell. You're becoming quite the pitch man here.
Hey, it's what I do, man. It's what I do.
Anyways.
Hey, don't forget, when you win your ring and you're all happy and excited and you're running around the house and you got that big money, you know what you can do? Spend some of that money at Blue Chew because they'll hook you up too. Mama be happy.
There you go. Go win your league, get a Trophy Smack, and then
there you go. You win your league, you hit that big jackpot, and guess what? Don't be selfish. Get you a little something for you from Trophy Smack and get you a little something for Mama from BlueChew.com. Use our promo code IDP Nation.
I should just turn in this part as our ad for that. Anyway,
Dan has officially given up.
We are giving up on this show. We're going to hit the Patreon. It's kind of a short Patreon. We gave him an hour the other day. So, an hour plus.
We did.
So, go Hawks. Football is back. It's football time.
Oh, I can't wait. I think there's a college game on tomorrow, too. Is it or not? Miami and somebody?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Good night now. All right.
God. Dang, I got to piss. I'll be right back.
We got a Patreon. It's already like 11:15.